We almost look like we're the same height, even though.
I did this for you, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you. If only people knew.
4 seconds in, already having a great time. Oh, goodness. Welcome to Free Space. I'm your host, Captain of the Spaceship, Aaron Perine. This is a place where all the best things on TV are absolutely free. And we've got Tubi's hottest new dating show. We're celebrating an all-time great and taking a look at one of our most stylish filmmakers working today. There's an animated feature from 2 creators that have shot straight into the stratosphere, pun intended. And today, my friend, Dana Clyde is here. Oh my God. We're in our lovely spaceship set. Dana, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good. Dana has helped me set up a lot of this beforehand. There's been a lot of sweat. We're going to get food.
I got nothing on this.
I'm not going to bag on them this week.
No, I know. They get their full week. They should get a full week of like grace period.
Artemis 2, off to a great start. Dana's one of my favorite correspondents, as you can see from this delightful banter we've got going on here. We're not always talking about NASA. It is prepare for nonsense. This is going to be unhinged.
Yes.
I hope everybody's ready. Gladly take on the challenge. Oh man. So you, our Mohawk correspondent, has interviewed a bunch of stars: Ryan Reynolds, Joe Pascal, all the K-pop demon hunters. Not at the same time.
Not just the voice, the regular, the acting voices. I should say. Yes. Yeah.
We've both met EJ a couple of times, but yes, you know. Oh gosh. So before we get into even more unhinged stuff, crewmates, report in. What are you watching this weekend? Go ahead and let us know. We're going to do our best to get you a guide to figure out what you can watch for free out there. But I mean, if you tried...
I don't know if they should. I don't know if they should. Right now, I don't know if they should.
Listen.
Watch free TV instead.
Watch free TV instead right now. Which, I mean, you kind of are. YouTube is kind of free TV in its own weird kind of way. Yeah. This is true. This feels a lot like TV. If you want help with free TV, add How to Watch Free TV here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Free Space Pod on Facebook. And for our free TV guide that we send out, our newsletter, it's howtowatchfree.tv for more on that. 3 free picks a week. Like, you can't beat it. We got all of our merch in the store. You can go support that. And we have to talk about this ridiculousness with Tubi.
My goodness.
It's time for our Shooting Star segment.
Reality shows are everywhere in streaming television. What began as an easy way to keep the lights on during a writing strike almost 30 years ago has become the lifeblood of multiple big-name streamers.
But is Tubi's latest entry going to be the future of this genre? House of Feelings has 3 seasons on the streamer, produced by influencer extraordinaire Jimmy Zhang, and just a ton of viewership. People love this little show. 3 seasons for free on both Tubi and YouTube. And I just am fascinated by the entire thing because I don't understand how they're affording these houses. These people seem like far too successful to be on the show. There's a lot to unpack. A lot to unpack here. The lo-fi nature might be the point of House of Feelings. Like, you can totally see where someone is filming a lot of this on iPhone or at least a handheld rig. The confessionals feel very raw and very just interesting. These people are not like reality TV veterans vying for a prize in the same way you might get on other fun things like, let's see here, like The Circle or The Bachelor, or, where you sharpen your knives for the people who are on the show. Producer Max Mack and co-director and general guy about town, Gabe Asgar, also play a huge role in bringing this to us. I'm so confused about how 3 friends got this very, very interesting concept on both Tubi and YouTube, and it has millions and millions of views. I know Dana is a reality TV expert, so I had to ask her about it. And the series of texts I received after we decided to do this and we both dug in was eventful. So I'm looking forward to it. D, I know you have a ton of thoughts. I'm just going to let you go.
Okay.
I'm just going to let you go.
Let it rip?
Yeah.
Okay. We both, as just viewers in general, and especially the Asian diaspora, deserve better than this show. I don't understand how so many people have watched this show. Like, conceptually, we're not reinventing the wheel here, right? It's just throw a bunch of hot people in a house, see if they have chemistry together. Great. Cool. We've seen it before.
Sure.
Right? All right, fine. And yet, this is like watching a bunch of wet paper bags try to coexist in a house together from a romantic angle, right? If you're trying to say that this is a romantic, like you're here for, I mean, love is the right word, but if we're here for romance, right? Or I just like that's the pretenses under which we're here.
Sure, absolutely.
There's no chemistry. Like we watched the first 2.5 episodes.
Yeah.
Did you feel a single spark in the third season between anybody?
No, I felt more sad for some of them when like stuff didn't work out or like they didn't get matched with the people they wanted or whatever.
But did they even want? So for me, this is playing off of a lot of other formats we've seen before. Right? So it's taking from a lot of the Asian dating shows where there's like a panel of people in the comment, which is clearly Jimmy and a bunch of people I've never heard of before, but his friends.
Everything more popular than us.
Yes, yes, and yet they also act. I don't think they've ever met before either, because I mean their chemistry as a panel did not feel conversational.
I literally thought about 90 Day Fiance after 90 days style, like watching other people who I have watched in other seasons watch this stuff. And because I lack the familiarity, I'm like, is there something I'm supposed to be getting from like this that's different? But Ariel was stoked. She's like, this is the best way to watch stuff like this. And I'm like, well, there you go.
I mean, I think the format is great and tried and true. I think the people they cast, the thing that this whole, at least season 3, because I didn't watch the other 2 seasons, but at least the few episodes I watched, it highlighted to me the importance of casting and casting directors, right? Because I'm gonna history. We're gonna put you go back to the Real Housewives of OC, right? One of the first kind of docu-follow, like real people, but aspirational people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They weren't anybody. And yet they weren't even necessarily doing like the most interesting things. But they were cast so well together that it was watchable, and it spawned decades of franchises.
Yes.
They follow the formula in each season, and they go through their growth periods or they like clear the bench up in a second. But it shows that you can take, this type of things, the most mundane thing, and turn it into something interesting, right? Same goes with panelists. You don't have to be the most famous people in the world. 90 Day Fiance is a great example. Gogglebox in the UK, which is so cute, right? It's just, and then there was Bravo had its own version of it for a while that was like people watch. If you cast well, things are entertaining.
Yeah.
This was not entertaining, and clearly all these people want to be influencers, personalities, etc. So I'm like, give me a little something,
The young man in the purple one, episode 1, I can't remember his name.
And you've been
Oh my gosh. He came onto the screen, and Ariel, actually, he is like an influencer of some kind. She knew who he was. And also, the dude's jacked. But also, I was like, oh, wow. But then I was like, well, he's just kind of sweet. Like, that's it. It's like one note. Which I was like, huh? What?
And if you're gonna come onto a show like this, I need you to either be messy as hell,
yes,
or I need you to be earnest. Right? Yeah. And like they're all, I think, hesitant and not sure what they're doing, and that's the job then of a producer to help guide the confessionals. And this is where I was just like, what is happening here? Because the kind of not even self-awareness, but just like the self-insertion of Jimmy into some of the situations where, at one point he was like, oh no, well, that's what we're going to do. Or like, oh, I should be doing that. Or so he says something along those lines that's like kind of meta about his awareness of his need to be producing the show actively. And I was like, you're 3 seasons in. Like, how have you not? You have so many things you could draw from. All you have to do is just copy paste, and you messed this up somehow. So to the people who've watched the millions worth of views, there's better out there for you. Like, you deserve better than this. From a representation standpoint, I'm like, oh, I like that they are all from different backgrounds and all this other stuff, but you can have chemistry, you can be hot, just like you have to cast the right people from these groups.
Okay, so this is really interesting to me to pair with like the queer ultimatum that came out, where we were all very excited that there was like, oh, this is gonna be fun because me and Ariel watched the regular one, like for sure, we do that. And then we get in there, I'm like, oh, well, there's not enough of the drama that you expect out of a reality show.
Yes, and they were earnest.
Yes,
that's part of the challenge.
Yes,
and not messy. And because I think in like that scenario, we expected messy because of the ultimatum.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think our expectations were, kind of thwarted there, and it worked against it.
I mean, it wasn't even the type of storming off that you would expect.
It was like, we're gonna process this together.
Right.
And I was like, bro, that's not what we're here for. Right.
This is too much therapy on TV. I validate everything you're going through. I don't need to watch it, you know?
Oh man, Ashley Ray, a genius in her own right, was like, they're not ridiculous enough. They're not. It's like this is both healthier, however, stripped in, let's just say, like therapy speak,
Yeah.
but not exactly what we're looking for. And that's kind of sad because she's like, there should be a space for queer people to be this preposterous mess. That
Absolutely.
all the best moments from Ultimate that made me actually look over when Ariana would watch it and be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Who's that?
And then it's really tough in the queer space, especially because then you kind of get a complete polar opposite direction when it comes to like the men dating men show.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a weird story right now.
Oh boy.
He looks like a Bobo Jason Derulo. Like I think he was intentionally also dressed like Jason Derulo. He's a TikToker. He is a dance person.
Yes.
I met him at some event, and I was like, and I went up to him. I was like, "Hi, I'm Dana."
Yes.
You know, and I was like, I don't think he's going to say hi. And he said some other name, right?
Yes.
I was like, "Oh, I recognize you," and this is accurate from TikTok, from the TikToks of the events I'd been studying before the thing I was covering.
Mhm.
And then I went and looked at him later, and he was on a show called like Dilf Manor or something like that. And so I feel like he was expecting me to be like, I recognize you from, like, or I think it was like for the love of Dilfs, right? Which is, hey, good for them. But like that's the other end, right? That's the messy kind of, you know, hyperbolized other end of the spectrum in the queer reality dating space that we get. Stormy Daniels, I think, was the host of that show. Oh, from what I anyway, will you lose brain cells watching it? Yes.
For sure.
And I lose brain cells watching also. Yes.
When the man, this is so many years ago now, but like when MILF Manor came out, I remember telling Ariel about that. She's like, "That's not real. It's one of your goofy little bits."
Right.
And I'm like, "Nah, that's real."
This is the male equivalent, right? Like this is the homosexual male equivalent.
What's the one that Netflix just put out with the age gaps?
Age Attraction.
Age Attraction. Age Attraction is literally doing that, but not quite and trying to be as trashy about it.
Correct.
Which I'm like, we're already 80% of the way there, guys. We're already there.
Yes, but they had actual casting directors.
Yes,
so
they
they were able to navigate that weird fine line of like not earnest or like earnest enough of pretense, but also like we're gonna give you trash, which is what you're here for.
They just bring the shovelful out and be like, there you go.
I expected trash, right?
Yeah.
I expected that. And then it was this weird kind of in between where people didn't want to put themselves forward, which I don't blame them for. And I do think there's maybe actually a cultural aspect to that, right?
Yeah.
Where like, you know, in a lot of Asian cultures, like we're not necessarily, you know, prone to, especially in a short amount of time.
Extroverted with these strangers.
Right. Or it was just like behave in a way that, yeah, you're not like putting yourself out there romantically in that short amount of time. That's not to say there aren't like hookups and all this other stuff, but it's just like they're probably very aware the cameras are there.
Mhm.
But most of you want to be influencers. So like if you want to put yourself out there and you agree to go on the show, like deliver.
We would hope. But I was really fascinated because okay. So this is like the authenticity question.
Yes.
This is one of the main things I took part of too,
Yeah.
which was if you go in the comments for this show, there is a mountain of people who love the fact that there's like the editing is not done in this sort of reality TV house style, polished style. They love that the people aren't like these like careerist reality TV show stars. They're really about it, which is interesting to me because I'm like, but as a person who watches a lot of reality television, I like the genre stuff. I like the fact that there's the formulas of stuff. And honestly, some of the more produced synthetic parts of it are hilarious. They're hysterical. They're crazy. And whenever I see a person, I think I said it to you, whenever you see a person holding a camera or holding a rig in a shot, I'm like, we are here.
Yes.
The drama is here.
Yes.
And there's just not a ton of that going on here.
My thing is, you don't have to be like the highest of production for me to be good
Yeah.
television. Because like some of the best Housewives moments have come from like, you know, the security cam installed that's like after the producers go to sleep and, you know, messiness actually happens, right? Those
Yeah.
are the classic moments. So
Sure.
I don't need you to have like a professional video crew necessarily. I do want you to. I want you to, but if you can't afford it, like that to me is not the deal breaker. It's the personality.
I'm not throwing any shade.
You should see how we film this show.
It is.
It's very professional.
I have no problem with the mom and popness of it all. I just thought it was very interesting. I'm like, it all almost boils down to like the contestants themselves. And I was like, oh, interesting. How weird.
Yeah.
But I also think there's like a generational thing there too, because these are
Yeah.
people who watch these people because they're influencers, and authenticity is king among that. And I was like, oh, I have a different set of expectations here
Yeah.
that some of these viewers do not.
And right. And maybe coming into it because I didn't know who they were, maybe that created a
Yeah.
barrier where I'm like, oh, I'm not invested in you because I don't know you. And so, but my thing is with a reality show like this, like you can't assume that everybody knows who you are coming into, or that's like it's going to limit your audience.
Yeah.
But I guess if you have a big enough audience, it doesn't matter.
It has a lot of followers. Mr. Zhang, I respect your hustle. You have a lot of followers.
I was awestruck when I was like,
oh, what's this? Because it was up there on top of the tab in Tubi. And I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on here. And then I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. You said, have you heard the show? I said, no. Have you heard this person? I said, no. And I looked at him and said, well, I understand why he's the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even he's not that charismatic on the show itself, though. Like, I feel like he's uncomfortable. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum if they really love this show. But for me, I was just like, when am I supposed to invest? Like, where's the hook? Where's the moment where I'm gonna be like, oh, actually, I like this person and I want to see them find love in this house in the span of a week.
I knew that this was going to be a little weird for me from the second that they showed their Briggs personality types on screen. I'm like, okay, we're in a space that Aaron doesn't know anything about here. All right,
Yeah.
this is a different level of matchmaking / connectivity.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a mixer? Is this like a corporate mixer? Like, what's
Right.
going on?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Which it's like there's the Korean culture sometimes has a thing where I can't remember it's like blood types. I'm not exaggerating. I think blood types are like, you said, what's your blood type? That's like there's like a system. I mean, it's the same as astrology. It's the same as whatever. Don't quote me on this. I'm not Korean. If I picked this tidbit of info up, it is from a dating show, or a K-drama. But I'm fairly confident that like that is one of the like kind of little things where it's like, oh, you were born in this year, you're like this astrology sign. So I guess Myers-Briggs is a totally valid equivalent to put and your lower Chiron.
I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? I understand. Part of me that if I had been here from the beginning, I was like, I would do a podcast within 15 minutes and just dissect them after, because there's a lot of people. I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, something must be wrong with me, or something might be wrong with me, because I'm out here bouncing off of parts of this, but there are tons of folks who are like, this is my jam. And I'm like, wow, I am confused. And I'm just like, man, you make me want to hustle harder. Because apparently, if you just have a bunch of followers of you can just achieve all your dreams.
Yeah. Good for them. Good for them. But it's not for me.
It's not for me.
And I also don't know who I would recommend it to, right? But I think the age thing is legitimately, kind of like a barrier there of just, I'm older than them. They're all older. The audience they're looking for is older than like my peer group usually.
Yeah, for sure. And I like 2 weeks ago, Tubi and TikTok signed a deal that influencers they would section short form creators and get them to a place where they could make longer form stuff on their platform. Is a stated initiative. It started with a studios program with Issa Rae's program where she took a bunch of creators and gave them either shows or movies on the platform.
Yeah.
This is like an extension of that, but for outside of just minority creators. And I'm like, this is the wave. Somebody thinks that this is the wave.
Yeah.
And the numbers kind of back it up. They put out this big thing. I'm not going to bore you. I have a giant video essay that's like 10 minutes long about like the numbers from Tubi's last year, breaking down.
Sure.
People love watching people they watch on the small screen, on a television, or on a device of another kind in longer form. So I'm like, is this going to be what the future of this kind of stuff looks like? It looks like it.
I think so.
A little bit.
It's scary.
It is. I'm like, there's so many people we don't know.
But what confused me, and maybe this is just again a knowledge gap on my side, is because I don't know Jimmy. And I don't know his content. I was like, this doesn't seem like it's in the genre of like what he got famous doing, as far as I can tell. Or did he get famous from putting the show like together?
No, like he did YouTube stuff before this. Like it was other YouTube stuff, and I guess like most young YouTubers, it's day in the life. It's like prank stuff. Me and my friends doing fun, stuff, trying shit. And I'm just like, did he just? And the funny thing, the story in season 1 is crazy to me. This is like real influencer. Like we just gonna do it. Like we were joking around about effort. We gonna do it live.
Yep.
They got on a plane to Sydney with like him and a crew of like under 10 people, and they were like, we just gonna film the show. Found a location and did it. And I was like, wow.
like, I respect that. I just think and maybe I need to go watch season 1, you know?
Yeah, this is true. Every
Like,
season is not the same.
Right. And so, but I respect the self-starting nature of that. I'm just like, were the personalities on season 1 better?
I mean, some of the people that were.
Please don't come for me in the comments.
I know.
The people who watch this are gonna come and be like, "Yo, I heard you was talking crazy," and one of our own too.
Give me the episodes I need to watch. How about that?
That would be
Please
good.
feel free to educate.
Listen, the compilation I watched in season 1, season 2 are delightful, but it's a compilation, so it's all of the most intense, most interesting stuff from either season. And I'm like, but like, where the how? I wait a long time. I was at episode 2, and I was like, okay, we had a couple moments where me and Ariel was like, oh, okay, but it wasn't like the same.
It's interesting.
No.
Yeah.
And it is not as big of a blow up as like a really good one from Housewives or a really, really wild episode of Love is Blind where something insane happens and we're all like, oh my God, why would you do that? Big Ed, no! Like, there was nothing like that.
I would not make fun of his appearance if he was a nice person.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not a nice person. So
Love watching these people.
yes, but again, it's casting.
At all.
It's all casting.
Oof, the reunions be wild. Oh my God. So that is House of Feelings on Tubi and YouTube for free. There's 2 full seasons, and then season 3, the time is recording, episode 4 might be out. And with that, let's head over to the Warp Speed round.